Welcome back. Welcome. Thank you for sticking with me for this long. Oh, it's getting silly, but it's so cool. It's so good. I remember being just delighted by this when I was a kid. Anyway, welcome back to the Wizard of Oz. The annotated. That means there are pictures in the book, and also like a lot of footnotes that I'm not reading because they're footnotes, and the story's the thing. Anyway, today we are chapter 22, the country of the Quadlings. The four travel. By the way, the word quad, when there's quad is on it, like that, Q-U-A-D, it generally means there's four of something. Quad means four. I don't remember why they're called Quadlings, but we're getting there. Anyway, the four travelers passed through the rest of the forest in safety, and when they came out of the gloom, they saw before them a steep hill covered from top to bottom with great pieces of rock. "That will be a hard climb," said the Scarecrow, "but we must get over the hill nonetheless," he said, being obvious, as Dorothy usually is. And then he led the way, and the others followed. They had nearly reached the first rock when they heard a rough voice cry out, "Keep back!" "Who are you?" said the Scarecrow, and then a head showed itself over the rock. And the same voice said, "This hill belongs to us, and we don't allow anyone to cross it." "But we must cross it," said the Scarecrow. "We're going to the country of the Quadlings." "You're not," said the voice, and there stepped from behind the rock the strangest man the travelers had ever seen. He was quite short and stout, means he was fat. Stout means big, chubby. And he had a big head, big melon, big noggin, which was flat on the top, flat top like a marine, and supported by a thick neck full of wrinkles. But he had no arms at all, and seeing this, the Scarecrow did not fear that so helpless a creature could prevent him from climbing the hill. So he said, "I'm sorry not to do what you wish, but we must pass over your hill whether you like it or not." And he walked boldly forward. As quick as lightning, the man's head shot forward, and his neck stretched out until the top of his head, where it was flat, struck the Scarecrow in the middle and sent him tumbling over and over down the hill. Almost as quickly as it had came, the head went back to the body, and the man laughed harshly, as he said, "It's not as easy as you think, is it?" A chorus of boisterous laughter came from the other rocks, and Dorothy saw hundreds of the armless hammerheads on the hillside, one behind every rock. The lion became very angry at the laughter caused by the Scarecrow's mishap, and giving a loud roar that echoed like thunder, he dashed up the hill. Unfortunately, the hammerheads were not sleeping, and again a head shot swiftly out, and the great lion went rolling down the hill as if it had been struck by a cannonball. Dorothy ran down and helped the Scarecrow to his feet, leaving the lion to fend for himself. And the lion came up to her, feeling rather bruised and sore, and said, "It is useless to fight people with shooting heads. No one can withstand them." "What can we do then?" she asked. "Call the winged monkeys," suggested the Tin Woodman. "You still have the right to command them one more time." "Oh, very well." And putting on the golden cap, she uttered the magic words. The monkeys were as prompt as ever, and in a few moments the entire band stood before her. "What are your commands?" inquired the king of the monkeys, bowing low. "Carry us over the hill to the country of the Quadlings," answered the girl. "It shall be done," said the king, and at once the winged monkeys caught the four travelers and Toto up into their arms and flew away with them. As they passed over the hill, the hammerheads yelled with vexation, "Rah! Vexation! Vex, 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 vex!" and shot their heads high in the air. Bring, bring. But they could not reach the winged monkeys, which carried Dorothy and her comrades safely over the hill and set them down in the beautiful country of the Quadlings. "This is the last time you can summon us," said the leader to Dorothy. "So goodbye and good luck." "Goodbye and thank you very much," returned the girl, and the monkeys rose into the air, and they were out of sight in a twinkling. Twinkling is a small cab. That's not true. The country of the Quadlings seemed rich and happy. There was a field upon field of ripening grain, and well-paved roads running between, and pretty rippling brooks with strong bridges. The fences and the houses and the bridges were all painted bright red, just as they had been yellow in the country of the Winkies and blue in the country of the Munchkins. The Quadlings themselves, who were short and fat and looked chubby and good-natured, were all dressed in red, which showed bright against the green grass and the yellowing grain. The monkeys had set them down near a farmhouse, and the 4 travelers walked up to it, knocked on the door. It was opened by the farmer's wife, and when Dorothy asked for something to eat, the woman gave them a good dinner with 3 kinds of cake and 4 kinds of cookies and a bowl of milk for Toto. "How far is it to the castle of Glinda?" asked the child. "It's not a very far away," answered the farmer's wife. "Take the road to the south." What have we been doing? South, of course, yeah. "And you will soon reach it." Thanking the good woman, they started afresh and walked by the fields and across the pretty bridges until they saw before them a very beautiful castle. Before the gates were 3 young girls, dressed in handsome red uniforms trimmed with gold braid, and as Dorothy approached, one of them said, "Why have you come to the South Country?" I'm sorry. I did that completely wrong. I'm very sorry. This is the South Country. This is the home of the country of the Quadlings. In the South, their color is red, like, rednecks. So I said that wrong. Let me back up a sec. "Why have you come to the South Country?" "To see the good witch who rules here," she answered. "Will you take me to her?" "Let me have your name, and I'll ask Glinda if she'll receive you." They told who they were, and the girl soldier went to the castle. After a few minutes, she came back to say that Dorothy and the others were to be admitted at once. And that's where the chapter ends. Just like that. They will be admitted at once. Quadlings. Country of the Quadlings. Rednecks. Why have you come? I love you. Thanks for listening. We'll talk soon.